lot of people don't know that there were actually several theaters that were built in and around the downtown. The Majestic Theater was on Maynard, and it was replaced by the Maynard Street parking structure back in the 1950s. There was a beautiful old opera house which was built in 1871 called the Whitney Theater, and it was torn down in the 1950s. There were two cinemas and vaudeville theaters that were on Main Street called the Orpheum and the Worth. And then there were several cinemas, the Fifth Forum or the Ann Arbor Theater, the Campus Theater, all of those are gone, and that's just a few of the places that were originally cinemas. You would expect there to be more theaters, and not all of them can survive. And the Michigan was indeed the grandest of the movie palaces. We're fortunate that in 1979, folks said, hey, we need to save the Michigan Theater, and they saved the most appropriate one, I think, of the historic theaters. So when a community saves a historic facility, it requires an ongoing commitment by the community. So we have thousands and thousands of members of the Michigan Theater. We have people who are members of our Towsley Society and donate at a higher level to support what we do here.
Bruce and I became Towsley members about 8 years ago. We decided to step up our commitment because we wanted to provide resources to the theaters to sustain it with all the other operational activities that go on. We take those responsibilities seriously, and our Towsley commitment is our pledge to the theater that we want it to be able to be a healthy institution in town.
The support of the community in maintaining and preserving and restoring the Barton organ is a vital part to its survival here, because the whole theater needs to operate with the support of the community.
So to have this instrument here and the fact that it's played all the time and is in such beautiful condition makes the Michigan Theater very, very special indeed.
Without the community's support, they couldn't be doing everything that they're doing. They couldn't make the improvements on the organ.
It's kind of become the voice of the Michigan Theater, as it were.
Every time the organ comes up, or every time there's any kind of silent film or live show or any of the events, it's saying thank you for your help and supporting us.
Cinetopia did very well in 2017. We continue to grow, but the State Theater is going to be a tremendous addition because we'll have the 4 screens there and the 3 screens here. It started off with 5,000 people coming to the first year that we did Cinetopia, and this year we had almost 30,000 people that came to all of the events in Ann Arbor and Detroit. Next year we'll hope to get up into the multi-tens of thousands of people, and then also this really exciting street presence between the Michigan and the state as you're buzzing between those theaters during the festival weeks. We're going to have literally one of the most special specialty cinemas in the country.
So the State and Michigan project was born out of a kind of clarion call to the community about 3 years ago, when it became clear that the State Theater might be sold. We have raised nearly $7.8 million of that campaign. It'll be a beautiful theater. In the next couple of months, we're looking to open in early to mid-December, and that's very exciting for us.
The Annex Cinema opened in October of 2016, and it was built as a temporary theater to service movie customers while the State Theater was closed. Well, come to find out, people kind of like it. It's an intimate space. It seats 69 people. The building that it's in is a very old building that actually needs a lot of work, and that's where we're having a lot of our roof problems right now. But for the foreseeable future, we look forward to continuing to operate it. But we couldn't have sustained the movie program at the Michigan Theater without the Annex Theater while the State Theater was closed.
The theatrical experience is one of the last remaining vestiges of our public storytelling culture. So for me as a filmmaker, I'm a public storyteller. I want to share my stories with a crowd of people. And I think the Michigan Theater and the State Theater constantly enable independent filmmakers like myself to do that with our films.
Not only do I bring my students here each year, I also bring my son here. So he's excited when he comes. He always asks me, he's in 4th grade now, but he asked me, are we going to the Michigan Theater? Oh, we saw that show, that was really good. Are they having any shows here? So he's constantly asking me about what shows do they have planned for children.
Whenever there's a kids show, I took Scarlett here. And the last movie was The Little Mermaid. She was so enjoying it, and then she focused the entire time for almost 2 hours.
I think it's important for the community and sponsors to continue to donate because so often our students don't get to participate or experience actual history. And this is a live piece of history that we can teach them about, and they can learn about, hey, this was here a long, long, long time ago when your grandparents were here.
People are really wanting to keep this place as a hub of the community, and then to draw people here, and it creates happiness, it creates like the bond of the family and the friends. I think contributing is also showing that people are enjoying and wanting to return.
I think it adds to the quality of life in Ann Arbor, and as one gets older, that's the kind of legacy one wants to leave behind.
To me, it's obviously a livelihood, but it's transcended that, and it kind of transcended that from the first day I walked in. We could not be the award-winning community that we are without organizations like the Michigan Theater, and the Towsley Society is the most important support group for that dynamic.